Sato almost at a snail's pace now as Marco Andretti looks to work his way around Graham Rahal.
Everyone will dive onto pit lane, as so it would appear. We're going to have to wait and see. No, cars will stay out. We expected to see them all making the move to pit lane as Davey Hamilton. The course is now almost completely wet, and yes, now all of the cars making the dive to pit lane. So Davey, it looks like all 26 cars will come in.
Yeah, they're all coming in, Mike, and they have to. Amazing. As soon as they told to give them the green flag to ball the pits, it starts raining. I see right now Tagliani's pits taking off wets. Ryan Briscoe's out. Sato's out. Graham Rahal. Looks like everybody's out, no problems. We have a little problem with the Foyt car, it looks like.
Okay, so Davey Hamilton pit side with us for today's races. Patrick Steffen had to make the return trip to the United States following yesterday's rain. We're working lap 16 of the 75 that make up this race. But once again, keep in mind, Mark, that this is a timed event, and because of that, there's no way we'll be able to complete all 75 laps. The green flag fell at just about 3 minutes after the hour. So 3 minutes after the hour of 8, 3 minutes after the hour of 9 in Sao Paulo. And let's go back to Davey Hamilton on pit lane.
Yeah, there was an incident now that Simona Di Silvestro had some problems. She's just now getting to her pit spot, putting the wets on right now, but there was some confusion down in the front part of the pits. Okay,
and Davey, I know you can't see it, but down this long back straightaway, Mark James, boy, the rain has really started to fall, and because of that, we already see the rooster tails. Mark, just amazing. It was completely dry right up to the time that we were completing the pace lap to come to green.
And as soon as we went on the air, I mean, the conditions were absolutely perfect at that time, and we checked the radar, and it looked like that we were going to be in pretty good shape for the hour 14 some odd minutes. But boy, I'll tell you what, this is the strangest set of circumstances in terms of weather affecting an event that I think I've seen in the years that I've been doing this.
Will Power is out in front. Simona Di Silvestro, Davey told us about the problem on pit lane. She has completed her stop and will roll back out on track, but will lose a lot of track position. But keep in mind that Simona was already 9 laps down, involved in one of those incidents yesterday at the start of the race. Graham Rahal right now, he and Takuma Sato racing for third, but Dario Franchitti, Mark, trying to pull up on Graham Rahal as they make their way to turn number 4.
Sato's checked out. Dario peeks underneath Graham Rahal. Graham will slide up and let him make the pass in the Kellogg's machine. Then the 77 machine of Alex Tagliani. He has his mirrors full of the Venom Energy machine. That, of course, the 26 car Marco Andretti, who got just a little loose upon the exit of the turn, but he was able to gather it back in, and the chase ensues as he tries to chase down Tagliani for that 6th position.
So cars go side by side, a good alignment as we go back to the side-by-side restart. Look great coming off of the hairpin onto the Sambadrome front straight, the concrete surface here. The rooster tails fly. Will Power out in front as they head to 1, but here comes Sato. Marco challenging 1.
Sato looks like he's going to grab the spot, and he will lead. Takuma Sato with the lead. Briscoe, Franchitti make contact into turn number 1. Another car shoved against the wall. That's E.J. Wiesel, who's looking to work his way around Graham Rahal. Everybody minding their P's and Q's in the rear of the field, but Takuma Sato leading Will Power. Mike, will that be the move that gets Takuma Sato in victory lane for the first time?
Wow, you got to think that the folks down there, including Jimmy Vasser in that KB Racing Technology Lotus pit, have got to be going crazy right now. Davey Hamilton, a great move by Takuma Sato as it looks like he outbreaks Will Power into a very wet turn number 1, and he will take the lead as we're working lap 26.
How about that, man? Takuma, he's shown a lot of promise, and now with these wet conditions, man, he's really shining now.
Viso and Marco Andretti right now, the best battle on the track. Viso had temporarily, Mark, grabbed that 2nd position after the green flag fell. He simply could not follow his teammate through 1 in the same line.
Some of the cars running behind them are a couple of laps off the pace, including Tony Kanaan and Simona Di Silvestro. Those cars that pitted are bottled up behind plenty of traffic. Talking about the likes of Will Power, Ryan Briscoe, Oriol Servia, and J.R. Hildebrand. Meanwhile, Takuma Sato has opened up to about a 2-second lead on Marco Andretti, leads Wiesel by 2.5. Saavedra and Jakes are running a risk of losing track of that lead pack as we've got a side-by-side battle for 2nd.
Well, and this is coming to the hairpin, down the long straightaway off of turn number 10. E.J. Viso, Mark, gave the look inside to Marco Andretti. Is he going to have enough time to make the pass?
Still taking a look at the 78 machine of Simona Di Silvestro is there as well. Will he make the pass as they set up for turn number 11, the hairpin? It looks like a drag race through the Sambadrome, and the Lotus machine grabs the spot. So KV Racing, Lotus Technologies, Mike running 1-2 on the streets of Sao Paulo with Takuma Sato and EJ Vizo.
How about that? So we told you that Vizo had momentarily grabbed second as the green flag fell on the previous lap as we had completed 37. That time he makes the pass stick, and Takuma Sato and EJ Vizo right now running 1-2. Davey, if the gamble by Jimmy Vasser and company pays off, this could be the best day in KV racing history.
Oh, man.
And the number 18 of James Jakes has spun off. And James Jakes, Mark, who was running in the top 5 and perhaps had the opportunity to win given his fuel situation, James Jakes has given up, about 9, 10 spots on track, gone to 14th. How sad that is.
That is a shame because, as we mentioned, he had 7 laps on those who had not pitted. Sato, Vizo, Andretti, and Saavedra. Just pushing too hard, lost control of the race car. So, tough break for the rookie James Jakes.
Mark, take a look at what Mike Conway is doing. Mike Conway has worked his way now back into the top 10, and Mike Conway is looking for a little bit more as he's running behind the lap car of Elio Castroneves. I'm assuming he's really chomping at the bit, wanting to clear Elio so he can try to pull up on Oriol Servia.
And I would imagine with the scrutiny that Elio has faced of late, I would be very surprised if Elio, considering he's 9 laps off the pace, did not move over, give him a chance to pass and chase down Oriol Servia.
Here comes Simona Di Silvestro moving to the inside of Marco Andretti. Mark, she is racing him very, very hard, but Simona Di Silvestro right now finds herself 9 laps down. I think she might have been better served to allow Marco to continue racing up front with the leaders.
I would imagine that Simona Di Silvestro might receive a chat from race control because, as much as valuable as it is for Simona to gain experience, simple fact of the matter is you don't like to see a car 9 laps down figuring into the finish of a race.
Yeah, another car cutting through the runoff area. That is Tony Kanaan, who Mark has made several visits to the runoff area in turn number 1.
Tough weekend for TK. He's currently shown in the 22nd position. He, too, is 9 laps down because Silvestro, Kanaan, Castroneves, and Patrick running 21st through 24th involved in that turn 1 incident at the very start of this race, which seems like, 7-8 days ago.
Jay Vizo now rolls slowly down pit lane. Blocking is the call on over Marco Andretti. Michael Andretti was protesting, and so because of that, EJ Vizo must serve the penalty, and Marco Andretti goes to second place.
And his teammate, Takuma Sato, has a 4.5-second lead over Marco Andretti. Sebastian Saavedra is third, and the guy that appears to be on a mission is Will Power. Mike, we thought Graham Rahal might be in a position as we see Simona Di Silvestro work her way around Marco Andretti. But the guy that we thought might be in the catbird seat was Graham Rahal because it had been 11 laps, he had pitted only 14 laps ago compared to the 26, 27 laps that the leaders had last pitted under. But now Will Power has worked his way around Graham Rahal, that it's only been 8 laps since Power last pitted. So if the top 3 cannot go to the end, Sato, Andretti, and Saavedra, that puts Will Power in a great position to win this race.
Simona Di Silvestro is a very capable race car driver, and she's going to do great things in this series, but she is probably going to get a scolding to the nth magnitude by Marco Andretti for the way she is racing him right now. Marco runs in second place and is watching Sato absolutely check out while he is trying to race a car, Mark, that is 9 laps down. Mike Taku will come in and he will hand over first place to Will Power, second place to Graham Rahal, and Briscoe will move up to third right now as the laps are winding down. Disappointment for sure for Jimmy Vasser and company as they have to give up the lead here with just a few minutes of race time remaining.
Well, you know what, Mike, it is unfortunate for that team, but it was a risk that they took, and they probably should have because it could have worked their way. We're just over 10 minutes left of this race, but boy, can we ever stop Will?
As the white flag will wave, Paul Blevin will show it to him. Here's Will Power across the line in the Sambadrome, across the start-finish line, marking into turns 1 and 2 for the final times today.
How much fun is Will Power having driving for Roger Penske? Just a dominating performance throughout the course of this season. Even though he came in trailing Dario Franchitti in the points championship, You know, Dario's going to be scratching his head a little bit at how this thing shook out and fell right into the lap of Penske. Of course, we had a handful of cars, Andretti, Sato, Saavedra, making the choice not to pit along with E.J. Vizo. Will Power and Company chose to pit. When everything settled out, the dust had settled, Will Power found himself in front and appears poised to win and head into Indianapolis with a 14-point lead in the championship.
E.J. Vizo currently runs 13th. Marco Andretti is 14th. James Jakes had a good run, but a spin cost him a top 5, or at least the possibility of a top 5 finish. As James Jakes is shown in 15th place. Charlie Kimball is 16th, and Charlie Kimball is the first car 1 lap down. Vitor Mira shown in 17th place. Ryan Hunter-Reay has had his issues. He is 4 laps down in 18th place. 19th, Alex Tagliani. Simona Di Silvestro runs in 20th place. Mark, as we watch the number 12 Verizon Wireless car on the long straightaway for the final time, Will Power now finds himself less than a quarter mile away from victory here in Brazil.
4.3 seconds the differential between he and Graham Rahal. Penske poised to take 2 of the 3 podium spots. Ryan Briscoe runs 3rd. Dario Franchitti and Oriol Servia your top 5.
Off the hairpin for the final time, back onto the concrete in the Sambadrome. Twin checkers will wave, and Will Power will claim the top spot on the podium on the streets of Sao Paulo as the rain once again starts to fall. Only appropriate that the rain falls as this race finishes, because that's what it has done on most of the race weekend.